right. Let's see. I want to make sure that this is going before I get.
Dude, that chair and everything behind you is super ridiculous. Like your own photo with your face over there. It's not some green screen. Like that's a real chair and shit, guys.
Well, hey, no, yeah, a lot of people, they always say, they're like, man, you have some really cool graphics on your green screen. And I'm like, no, this is all the real deal. This is, this actually was a gift. This was a gift from one of our artists, Dead Punk. Shout out to our boy. And then also Maurice in New York, he does the other pieces of art for me. And this chair, I just, I was like, you know what? Instead of the couch, I'm going to go with this one instead. But anyways, welcome back to your favorite comedy finance channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. So guys, I wanted to Byte Storage and staff of developers, and we're going to talk about a variety of different things. They just got off of a call with ArcBlock because ArcBlock's pretty excited that, they are getting more developers on there. And I know you guys heard about the AI Blocklet Assist that just got deployed. That's going to 1,000x your production, I'm sure. But how are you guys doing? And we'll kind of go around, or if you guys want to just it's a little bit different. But I'll let Justin talk first, and then we'll kind of cycle through. And
dude, I'm so excited. We saw the AI tonight, right? We saw the AI work tonight, and it was fucking awesome. I asked Robert if we can get it to play with, and he said absolutely. So he's gonna give us that so we can add it to play with it. But it hasn't launched yet. It's got some bugs and things like that, but it is super cool. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. It's way quicker than Chat GPT, and it just he's like, Robert said, oh, I'm gonna ask it to write a newsletter for me about ArcBlock in partnership with Byte Storage, and it did. It was this amazing newsletter it wrote out. And then he showed us this dope Twitter AI, bro. He integrated the AI into Twitter tweets where he can make these amazing Twitter tweets like on the dime and without him thinking.
I saw a lot of that. I think that is awesome. A lot of people don't know, but Robert Mao is actually ex-Microsoft elite. He was actually one of the top members that created a lot of different things in regards to machine learning. To give you the actual bio of one of his Microsoft resumes, okay? It says, ArcBlock, Robert worked for Microsoft and researched future social experiences, which is called Fuse Labs, a research center focusing on social computing and machine learning. Robert Mao has authored more than 30 peer-reviewed academic and conference papers, journal articles, publications, and also owns several patents. So we already knew that AI was going to be introduced to ArcBlock. I didn't think it was going to be this early. I didn't think it would come in the form of a blocklet, and I certainly didn't think that it would be the tool that creates on-demand dApps. Because this is going to be so strategic for any ecosystem admin to utilize for dApps. So what's going to be nice about this is usually companies need to migrate from ecosystem to ecosystem to take advantage of technology on this particular layer coin or this layer or whatever. But with blockchain 3.0, the programmability is on another level. You could utilize ArcBlock's technology and its tools and not need to leave your ecosystem. It's actually blockchain agnostic and no migration is needed. So you do not have any sort of ecosystem or blockchain lock-in for the admin. The admin can utilize these tools wherever they are and not need to leave their designated ecosystem. And that's
but also the AI you can run on your own. You can run the AI on your own, like a blocklet, like we do our own blocklet that Byte's running on our own server. We're not that's why it's free for us to run on our site right now. We don't pay any AWS, nothing.
And before you go further on that, Justin, just to explain to the audience what you just said real quick. Sorry. So guys, there's two different ways that you could utilize Blocklet as a retail consumer, which is when you buy server space quarterly, which is, I think there's three different options or whatever the case, but put it this way, for the consumer retailer, okay, they could buy server space to run the Blocklet on top of, okay? But what Justin is talking about from a developer standpoint, or if you're an admin for a different ecosystem, you could take Blocklet and run it on top of your own server for free and build on top of that blocklet.
But also use the AI, all that, just instead of using theirs, you could just run that exact same AI on the blocklet with the same, algorithms learned, the way it's growing, it fully customize it too. So, but I would like Vincent to chime in too. Vincent, let's.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I did. I have a little server at home that I'm using with an IP so I can route to domains if I want to. But I spent the last 2 or 3 weeks just going crazy over blocklets and learning how the server works as well. And it's basically infinite capacity for doing literally whatever you want. A low code site or some heavy applications. It's insane.
The tech is just ridiculous.
So basically, guys, for those of you that are administrators or developers of different ecosystems, okay, we have different people that watch this show within our community, okay? So what they just got through talking about, guys, is the fact that if you are in need of staff, okay, or your ecosystem or your project does not have enough staff, you could take this blocklet, run this blocklet for free on your own server and utilize that AI blocklet to create the dApps from scratch or a website or this or that. No matter what it is, you can 1000x your staff's production by utilizing blocklet. So this is going to be huge for a lot of different companies out there because, as you guys know, right now more than ever, there's an extreme demand to find human developers. There's not enough developers out there. There's not enough talent for sure. But also on top of that, it's hard to find them because most of the developers are working for these bigger conglomerates. Now, right now, you saw a lot of these bigger conglomerates like Google, Microsoft let go of only anywhere between 2 to 6% of their staff. And mind you, that's a lot of people, but it's not nearly enough people for the new digital economy that's building projects after project after project. So for those of you that are administrators or developers like Byte Storage or whatever the case, and it doesn't need to be guys, even if you're not working on ArcBlock itself, you could still utilize ArcBlock's middleware technology, the blocklet, run that for free on your own server and build dApps on demand at 1000x the rate. Okay, so you're gonna 1000x your production speed because of how fast the AI assist blocklet will get you to the next level. So guys, don't forget about that, or the fact that you can make these websites, you can make a variety of different things. I like how Robert was actually utilizing it to communicate through the Twitter account. That was really
it was super cool. I mean, not only that, man, Robert reached out to us privately about a project that he's working on that'll go live. We'll let him announce it, but won't give a name or anything. But we have the honor of being the IPFS provider on it. That was one of the part of conversations that had to be brought up to us. So that even made us happier about our partnership. We're not just some blocklet providing IPFS storage to users that are building their sites using ArcBlock and spending the ABT to their platform, but even as a developer. But in that same standpoint, we are, our services are traveling more with ArcBlock than just a blocklet. Yes, it'll still be a blocklet in a sense, but I can't tell you what it is. But we're going to be on their next advertisement once we merge with them, and they'll share their documentation. So there's a whole other part of Byte Storage with Byte Storage with ArcBlock than what we just first started off with, and it's crazy to think about.
I love how you guys just naturally developed because both of you were in telecommunications, and what's nice about this whole synergy is how much you guys are utilizing each other for particular pieces of the project based on the demand of what a lot of other companies are going to need. And keep in mind, because your services are so great, and also, storage is definitely something that everyone's going to need if they're going to be trying to build on ArcBlock, or they're going to be building somewhere. They're going to need places to store their company or store their files or whatever the case, because a lot of people don't understand how great your company is versus Filecoin. Filecoin, in order to store and to retract the file, you got to pay a fee. Do you got to do that with you?
No, I mean, well, there's two different ways to use our services. I mean, you mint, and then you get amazing perks for that. Go to our website, go to our Twitter, go to bytestorage.io, read the website.
You explain the way it works again for those of the people that haven't seen it yet. I know with the NFT purchase, that gives you 1 year of free of access to the storage, and then the discount 20% or $20 a month.
No,
so you get something.
So when you mint, you know, of course you can gain profit. You know, it'll grow, absolutely, and you can sell it, do whatever you want. But when you mint, you get unlimited storage. I'm sorry, not unlimited storage. You get 2 terabytes of storage, and you get free storage for the first year. That's 2 perks. The third is you get access to our metaverse building once it goes live, which we do have our building built, and you can actually roam it. Right now it's in a temporary space. We just haven't bought our land yet to place it on. So you can interact with our DApp. And then you get access to our exclusive events. And then the last thing is, what was it? Oh, the prize, $500 of ETH. So you get entered into a raffle, $500 of ETH, and you get a custom plaque with your NFT on it. And that's all a big thank you for saying, hey, you supported us. And that money goes to our devs. You can read it, our smart contract. It's right there. I mean, you go to our site, click it. Up in the top right, it says contract. Go to the little green check mark on the Etherscan that scroll down. It says contract. Click it. Scroll down to the first one and read that code. It says Dev 1, Dev 2, Dev 3. And when you mint, 20% goes right back to the community. Look at the money on the contract. Only I can withdraw that. But that'll be based upon votes once people want to change what Byte Storage is. Maybe users are like, oh, we want to see this happen. Okay, well, we'll let the early birds who minted be able to vote. And when those votes cast, that's where that money will go. So 80% goes to the developers, 20% goes to the community. So that's one way to use the services. There's the second way, which is using USD, just choosing one of the other packages. But you also, you know, you don't get as much perks, you don't get cheaper rates. So, but you can still use our services.
I think you're muted over there.
Sorry about that. So let me, I want to make sure you guys aren't getting echoes or anything like that. I saw somebody was saying, but, so let me ask you this. So can you kind of, you know, I want people to see 2 different things about your company. Okay. I want people to see the fact that the synergy between you and ArcBlock makes you a better service provider than Filecoin, but also I want people to understand not only the product and service as something on the shelf. I want people to open their minds to what you could utilize this storage for. How do you monetize storage, right? And a lot of people just hear storage and they don't think anything past that product or service. But what a lot of people are missing when it comes to building something on the Web3, not only decentralization, but let's talk about the basics. Let's talk about the fact that you could build a business. You could build a business and store it there. You could build a business and build within that storage space to provide whatever product or services that you want to provide. So, you know, a lot of people, when they hear a product or a service or a tool, they don't think past how they're going to use it themselves, because they're too, like, unfortunately in the crypto sector, it's so brand new. A lot of what brings people in is this investor mentality, which is good, right? You want an investor's mentality, but being an investor is not only about buying coins, guys. Being an investor is about investing in yourself to create a company, to create a business. And what's funny about business owners, right, is there's another name. You know, when I worked in corporate office and I was business brokering, one of the biggest things that business owners would call themselves when they owned multiple companies or they had a portfolio of multiple companies, they would call themselves business investors, even though they were the owner, even though they were the creator of the company. Well, you guys can't begin or end your investment portfolio with just what coin am I going to buy? Because the more you get into this sector, the more you're going to realize that everything that you're investing in is the playground that developers like Byte Storage create for you to play on top of. Now, to get to the next level, you're going to need different tools to build your business. And a lot of those tools could be storage. It could be an AI blocklet. You know, if you don't have the staff and maybe you're only 2 people or 1 person or whatever the case, you know, and you have AI blocklet assist, that's going to expedite your production process for your company. Where are you going to store the company? Where are you going to build your website? Justin gives you that opportunity to do it on Web3 through ArcBlock. So there's a lot of different things that I want to kind of like really hammer into, because what's funny is, like, you know, when I was in other industries, like whether it was real estate, the auto industry, anything like that. A lot of the trainers that I would run into, they would always say, if you don't say you have it, you don't have it. But if the competitor says, like, for instance, if you and a competitor have the same product and you don't say you have a particular feature that you do have, but this person says they have a particular feature that you have, and they announce it and you don't have that feature to the consumer. And that's why it's so important for us to really hammer in on not only the tools, the service, but what you could do with those services. And that's what's going to be appetizing to a lot of the people that watch our channel, because, you know, we have 3 different audiences here at MYC. We have admins from different projects like yourselves, right? You guys are also on OddApp as well. I really appreciate that you guys support our business as well. But on the other side of this is, you know, we have to take a look at it from every aspect. We have to look at it from an admin perspective, a developer's perspective, a consumer's perspective for sure, but also investors. So, you know, whenever we're going into in depth with a lot of these different things, you know, I always try to communicate to all 3 different types of people that we have here. We have administrators, we got developers, and we also have regular investors. You know, but these are things that every single person within these categories are going to want to hear. You know, so I really like what you guys have been doing. You guys have been absolutely destroying it, killing it. And, you know, Robert, whenever he talks to me about you guys, he's always like, Dion, these guys are doers. You know, they take from idea and they put into action right away. And that's what I like a lot about you guys. You guys have been awesome. The community really celebrates you all the damn time. You know, what else has been going on? Like, do you want to like share with us some details about what's the next steps for you guys, or, you know, what makes you better than Filecoin, you know?
Okay, so there's like 3 points right now for me. And you used the word ecosystem the other day, which made me not feel crazy, because I lost sleep over that word and the fact that we're bridging so many gaps together, and the way that ArcBlock is doing things, especially. I guess we can't talk too much about what that future might hold between us and ArcBlock. But one thing we want to get on soon, once the initial release is done, is a gateway, so that, you know, anyone who wants to use our service in a production environment, if they're a developer or making an NFT, they can access that data super quick. And also a development tool. We want to build like a backend library so that people can like programmatically upload to Byte Storage. They don't even need the interface. They can just house a ton of information at one time, instantly access Byte Storage with some access keys that are unique to them, and write to IPFS as needed. There's a lot of future ideas floating around, but I think those are 2 big things that will be really important in the future, and bring in different people as well, not just going to a site and uploading, you know, some files. Like, it really makes it a more useful tool in a lot of different ways. And you were asking about Filecoin. You know, it's just different the way they're doing things. Justin can explain it a little bit better than I can, but they're doing things very old school, and we're kind of trying to be leaders in what we're doing and use the technology available now, not, you know, early 2000s.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the biggest complaints that I see, you know, and because, you know, back in the day or last cycle, you know, let's say, you know, we did really well with Filecoin, and we liked it. But the major complaint within consumers, and which I think is going to be a pressure point as we go into the future, is it's not truly decentralized. There's a single point of failure. If Filecoin goes out of business, the person doesn't truly own their data. But not only that, is when they're sending information or retracting information, they're spending money to do so. And that's inefficient. You know, it kind of sucks. Imagine you guys, you know, for those of you, you know, just using a regular email and you're storing files on your email. Imagine if every single time you had to download something out of it or take something out of it, you had to pay for it. You know, that's quite a bit, right? And, you know, with their services, you don't have to do those things. You have a monthly subscription model versus burning tokens or utilizing tokens back and forth in order to do those things. This is way more efficient, and you're not being charged for every movement you're making with your files. That's a major key right there.
But two different ways to use our services, you know, minting or a regular user. And we are incorporating other tokens. Absolutely. Like, we're partners with Source Protocol. We validate for Source Protocol. We validate all of our transactions. Like, we are extremely eco-friendly. There's no
Cosmos, isn't it?
Major. Yeah, Cosmos. Yeah.
We're Cosmos. We do like the ecosystem, and I believe we like Bluezo BLZ. They just got through integrating with Stargate. So that's pretty badass. You know, so we love the ecosystem, and I actually wanted to thank you. You helped one of our members, Varels, become a validator for Source Protocol. So shout out to Varels on that. And again, guys, this is what I'm talking about. This is about community development. Okay, a lot of our veterans have been in this sector for years, and it's not about just like, once you get past a particular level in wealth due to crypto, you're going to want to do other things. You're going to want to learn how to mine. You're going to want to learn how to utilize Web3 services. You're going to want to learn how to validate, you know, and Justin has been so awesome at educating us on that side of the field, and also helping a lot of our people set things up. So I really do appreciate just the extra little things that you guys have done. And I think that the services are definitely needed for what you guys are providing. And, you know, just to touch base again on those two sides of how this could work. Okay, you could do it through NFT, or you could just do the service direct, correct?
Or through ArcBlock. You know, if you're building there and you go to the paid blocklets, boom, it's like an app. You just click
you guys are on DID wallet now, aren't you?
Yeah, we're on there. Yeah, because our site is fully.
So if you guys were actually to go onto your DID wallet right now, you're going to find Byte Storage on there.
Yeah, through their browser.
We're not on the store, but we live on a blocklet right now.
Exactly. You know,
on our own. If you go to Byte Storage site, you're visiting a blocklet.
That is sick. That is sick.
It's really cool. There's so much you can do with it, man.
But this is kind of what I kind of love about the whole thing, though. It's like, you guys aren't stuck on top of ArcBlock just to use the tool. You see what I'm saying? Like, the biggest issue between different ecosystems right now, okay, and this is actually really a big problem within the crypto sector, especially for investors. Investors hate migrations. Migrations kill communities. They hurt people's portfolios. It's just a giant mess, okay? And the reason why a lot of these admins end up needing to migrate out of an ecosystem, because maybe the layer doesn't provide smart contracts, or maybe there's, you know, another layer one that could produce the transactions. You know, it has the proper transaction, it has the proper TPS in order to, you know, supplement their consumers or whatever it may be. They make up some excuse to leave one ecosystem to go to the next, and or they're hacked or something, which, you know, I get it. If they're hacked, I get it. You know, but again, a lot of this common practice stuff, it's common, but that doesn't mean it's right. I don't like it at all because it burns people. So
the key is just being Web3, man. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Totally decentralizing yourself to where you have 100% control. Nobody can shut you down. There's a totally new web right now. The tools are out there to use. We're using it right now. And look at the beautiful partnership we formed with Robert, and him seeing that we get shit done. And then now tonight, we got invited to do something else where we're growing with them and be on the next advertisement for it. And it's powered together. That's going to be huge. Like, I thought we were just done right here, but now we got this whole other thing, and he's like, we're gonna be on advertisement for it together. I'm like, oh, okay, let's fucking do it. And then now what he showed us just sparks all these other ideas for me and Vinny, and we're just bouncing them in the call, and it's just it's crazy. The tech, the playground, it's absolutely, it makes me so excited. Like, I don't even want to go to sleep. I just want to keep looking and reading and experimenting and just totally taking my ideas and like I mean, fuck it, dude. Like sometimes I'll just like grab a piece of paper, and everybody needs to hear this out there. Start grabbing a piece of paper, and you go to like a common site that you like, and it'd be like, even if you're looking at this on YouTube, it'd be like, okay, well, here's the page. You got the main, which is the background, right? But you got the main container, which would be the first div, which would be the parent, and then the children that lie within that, or other divs. That could be a row or a column that displays certain information, and it just starts from there. And you build it out, and then you replica that to the code, and then you take all your ideas. But you do documentation research, and of course, but building with ArcBlock based on that point is just opened up so many windows and avenues that I just thought were never possible.
I love the whole thing. You know, I like when it was just before you guys came around, but like when I realized that like blocklets didn't need to only run on ArcBlock servers, that blocklets could be ran anywhere. That was wild, because then the software licensing per blocklet made even more sense.
No. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Like, this is the first time in my life, and ask Vinny if I'm wrong, that we can house a blocklet and not pay anything to host our site.
No. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying, that you could, that people could, like a developer, you know, they could take the blocklet and run it on their own server. Like I realized that, you know, just before, like, not saying that like before you guys were around, right? There was a moment where like I had came to that realization, and, you know, I didn't see it in play until you guys did come around though. You know, when I saw that, I was like, holy, like, this is crazy. Like the tool that ArcBlock is producing could be used anywhere. And what's cool about blocklets themselves is they're in the form of an NFT in a way too. You know, because every blocklet's like a software license, you know, that comes with royalties, you know. So let's say if you guys built a tool, you know, that's utilized by a lot of people or whatever the case, you can monetize that blocklet as a software license, put it on DID wallet, and the more people that use it, the more it could be monetized as well. Like there's a lot of different use cases for the blocklet itself, whether you're using it on ArcBlock server or your own server. And I think that like just the fact that the option is there is just next level.
Yeah. Vinny of Christian. Vinny, what's up? You got anything to say?
Yeah. Let's talk about you guys. Background, like where did you guys come from? Did you grow up in a cardboard box? Did you like tell me everything? What like where did you guys come from?
You can go first, Christian, since you were here first. Justin and Christian started things, and I joined in.
Sounds good. Yeah,
Whoa! Hold on, Christian. Vinny, don't even start that, bro. The message you sent me the other day, and I sent you, you were like, "No, there has to be a story. Don't give me that, man. There's a lot more." Come on, Vinny.
You want me to tell the story now? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he wants to know the background of you.
Okay, well, this is my impression of what happened. Because I haven't known Justin that long, but it has been probably like 6 months now. So Justin was a minor, heavily into that, as everyone knows. I guess one day he decided he was going to be a Solidity developer, and he became one. And he's super talented at it. I can barely follow it.
Why are you talking about me? Okay.
I think you need it. Because it leads up to Byte Storage. A few dabs later, Justin invents Byte Storage and get to team together, including one more dude from out of country, I think Ukraine, who knows IPFS like the back of his hand. And Christian joins in a little bit before that, I think. Also Solidity developer and founder. And then they found me. I was just freelancing, and Justin picked me out of the crowd somehow. I have a background in tech and stuff, but I have yet to work full-time development, so looking to quit my job here. But I think we've just been like hammering it away ever since I met Justin.
I feel like that's what's happening to a lot of people.
It's been awesome.
a lot of people left Microsoft and Google, or they got laid off and all that stuff, you know, and I think a lot of those developers are going to end up in the crypto sector. But truth be told, I think you'll make way more money in the crypto sector as your own as your own, you know, yourself, like as your own business owner, versus having to work with somebody or working for somebody or whatever the case. You guys have built a real project here. And I don't think this is going to be the last project you guys were built. You guys are truly entrepreneurs, and I do see you guys making multiple companies.
I mean, Vinny built. I mean, do you want to talk about it, Vinny? That what you did for a Blocklet for the first ever on the Web3?
Oh, I saw that, the link tree. That was cool. That
yeah.
Tell us about the link tree. Tell us about that.
I hope it does. I might need a volunteer to help with one issue I have left. It works. There's one issue in development that doesn't exist in production, one issue in production that doesn't exist in development, but I got the basic outline going. The code's up on GitHub. You can take a look at it if you want. I just researched and dug my way through documentation and code that was developed by ArcBlock, and eventually figured out a way to make it happen. You can store data on ArcBlock blocklets as well, which is crazy. So you can have a back end on a blocklet. You can have a front end on blocklet. You can have your business on blocklet in 10 different ways. And Robert's just building out the future even more and is like 10 steps ahead, man. Like, it's just getting crazier and crazier. And he's adding,
which is even beautiful,
options. It's just like, I did not understand ArcBlock at first. I couldn't even like really take it too seriously. I was just like, this is just some layer 2 thing, you know? And Justin pretty much introduced me into Web3, and now it's just stuck on my mind. And we're just working on it and developing it more and more.
That difference between old internet and new internet, that's where you're kind of like, oh wow, oh okay, and now I get it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, we understand the difference. Like, we know what's old and what's new, and I keep preaching that to everybody. Every time I get into space or any Twitter space, I tell them, yo, you guys think that like, oh, it's already here, I can't replicate that? No, that exists in the regular centralized web. Okay, we're talking about a totally different internet. Wild, Wild West, Web3, fast as shit, totally decentralized, DIDs, I mean, the whole 9 yards. So, I mean, you can literally reinvent the wheel there. It could be a whole new YouTube in Web3. There could be, I mean, literally, man, just name your own thing, and it's crazy. I mean, you got to think about it. The possibilities are endless to what you could do in this new thing, and nobody's done it. And here comes Byte Storage along with right in the back end, right at the perfect time. You know,
when you guys met Robert, it was kind of like right at the right time, you know, because both of you had backgrounds in telecommunications. You guys are both pilots, right?
Yep.
How long have you been flying, Justin?
I mean, I flew for, honestly, I haven't flew in the past year because I've been too busy developing. I've been building 3 dApps. I told you, minted tunes,
what have you flown? Like, talk to us about what you've flown and stuff like that, you know?
R22s, R44s, and R66. So they're all Robinson helicopters. One's a 4-cylinder, one's a 6-cylinder, and then the other one's a turbine. So, I did that for like, I don't know. I flew for like almost 3 years straight. And I know the guy who owns it, so it's pretty cool. I can just go like hit him up and go pick a helicopter out and call it in and do my calls and take off and fly somewhere. And I don't know. It's when I leave the ground, I feel like I leave everything behind. I mean, it is annoying. You do have air traffic control because you feel like, yeah, I'm free. You have air traffic control in your ear, like, oh, helicopter 74343, report for flying a Delta flight above you on 143 at 6,000 feet above. And so. And you're like, you got to find it and then report back, or they keep bothering you. But other than that, you feel like you leave the ground, everything's free. But me and Robert bonded on being a pilot for sure, because he flies.
He doesn't like helicopters. He don't like helicopters.
No, yeah.
I told him about when we took MYC to Vegas. We did a Vegas conference, and that was a pretty fun time. And we ended up getting on a helicopter out there. And so I was talking to him about that, and he was like, man, the helicopters are scary. They scare me or whatever. But because he flies planes, right?
he flies fixed wings. But real quick, I wanna bring Christian up. Christian.
Yeah, let's get Christian in there. Come on.
What's going
on?
How's it going?
They want to know your backstory, Christian.
Yeah, man.
So it really starts, I think, a couple of years ago. Justin and I started to get into some crypto stuff, and he's been into it, which kind of piqued my interest, and I was learning off of him. I got interested in learning Solidity and developing in the Web3 world. So we took off from there and started learning a bunch of that and the backend and Solidity, where Justin and I wanted to build something that we could be a part of the Web3 community and offer something very useful to everybody in it. Is where we came up with this idea, and then basically it goes from there. We got started on it and brought Vincent along, and then our other partner over in Ukraine, and then just been building away from there.
That's awesome. So I know Justin has a variety of different hobbies. You know, he also owns a kangaroo, you know, a wallaby. But you know,
it's been a wallaby, but it's
What hobbies does Christian and Vincent have? So what do you do? What do you do like for fun for your personal life? Besides build, or is that all you do?
I do that a lot. I'm actually big into sports. I played sports all the way through college. So just being out and staying active, and then I've gotten big into sports betting. So I'm actually building a company now for giving out like sports picks to people, practicing the coding with that. So that's been a big hobby this recent couple months.
Oh man, that sounds awesome, man. And that's huge. There's not that many companies doing that either. There's only so many. That's awesome.
It's a fairly new thing. Yeah, for sure.
What about Vincent? What does Vincent do for fun? I think he builds, doesn't he?
Not too traditional background, but like in college, I actually competed and used to do rock climbing. Kind of abandoned that for a while, and I'm back into that. So that's kind of like my hobby outside of coding. But I just love to code, and I love technology, man. Like I just got obsessed with it and went back to school for it, and now I'm here. So I'm just doing those two things, really. That's my main focus, is just building.
You know, that's what's funny. You know, sometimes I run into old friends of mine, and they're like, you know, man, that's really cool what you're doing, you know, whatever. And they're like that must be really nice. You probably don't work that much anymore. And I'm like, I don't know about that. You know, I quit my 9 to 5 3 years ago now. And, you know, I quit my 9 to 5 to work 24/7. You know, that's kind of what Web3 is. You know, a lot of people think that when you go into the digital space, you know, it's not as much work, or it doesn't sound like it's much work because you're working remote, but you actually work probably twice the hours, if not all day, like literally all day and through the night sometimes. You know, and the reason why is because of the accessibility. You know, I don't think a lot of people realize that. They think, oh, you know, just because you're working from your home, you're not working as hard. But it's like, no, you actually are working a lot more. You're spending a lot more hours. I mean, we're passionate about it, you know, so clearly it doesn't seem like work to us. And that's why we're able to do so without having somebody on us to do it, right? But for the most part, though, you know, we're so dedicated to what we're doing and building in general that these hours do fly by. You know, how many hours do you guys think you work probably a day?
Too many coding, especially with that. And yeah, starting this new thing. So I feel like it's 24/7, just outside of any other work we got going on till we go to bed, till we wake up in the morning. Sure, Vincent's on it a lot too.
That's me too. You know, a lot of the times I'll, as soon as I get up, and then but when I get up and before I go to bed, I'm working, you know, so it's a lot of stuff that we're always doing. Justin, did you want to add on to any more, or is there anything else that you guys want to share with us? I remember there was an NFT ticket type of thing coming up, maybe, or is there something else? I forget what it was. I think it had something to do with the AI, probably. I've been looking at so many things, guys. So, you know, I've been trying to, you know, keep things organized, you know. But is there anything else you guys would like to bring up?
Justin's asking me right now. I think he's in the waiting room. If you want to let him in real quick.
I don't know if I could. I mean, how do I add to stream? All right, there he is. There he goes.
All right, bro. I've been waiting back there. For some reason, it kicked me backstage. I was like, oh, this guy.
I saw you in the screen, and you're like,
dude, I'm like, hey, man, I've been over here. Do you not see me down here, man? I felt like it.
Is there anything else you wanted to share with us, bro? Or
yeah, for sure. Hey, I did develop a few other sites before Byte Storage, which one of them is Minted Tunes. It's where it's if you go to that mintedtunes.io, you can turn any of your MP3s, which is your songs. It could be your music. Into an NFT with the art cover being NFT work as well, and you can put it up for sale. You can also do music videos, albums, and then you can distribute to Spotify. So therefore, you can legally claim you own 100% of your music before you distribute. But anyway, second is minted tickets. If you want to make any ticket for any event, it's an ERC powered by ERC 1155, and you can give it a totally different cover. So basically, your artwork. And then you can have ticket with utilities when it starts, when it ends, the royalties that you'll get from the resales. You can bridge it with VR online experiences for that concert. You can use it to bridge to either a live concert, either on Facebook, or you can use it
for like access to a website maybe as well. Or
yeah, absolutely. That's what I was telling. That's what I was going to tell Christian. Like instead of him just because I'm helping him with this, build the payment integration with the betting and USD. But I was like, bro, just create a quick link for minted tickets, do a certain amount of tickets here. And when they get and boom, do it on mintedtickets.io, put that link right here. So when they pay that way, they'll do the same route and then they get the same stuff just using ETH.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But also an NFT. Yeah.
There's so many ideas I have in my mind that I want to do, because like I know, all right. So a lot of people, typically they'll think like, all right, Dion is just doing MYC. It's like, no, I'm doing MYC, I'm doing ODAP, and I also want to develop other things too. Like there's that one pager for the chart that I was telling you about. Like it's supposed to be like a middleware type of idea. We don't have to go through it today. I don't want to talk about it until I actually make it. But again, there's different things that I myself want to do. But I know there's a lot of people that I know that watch our channel, and I know a lot of admins, I know a lot of developers that, they don't stop at just one idea. They could create things and continue creating things because, when you are working online, you could kind of freely create. And that's kind of what I love about this sector is like, because the tools are so powerful, it really does unlock so much opportunity. And that's what makes these tokens grow so much. What makes these tokens grow so much is because so much production and so many tools can be created from this technology. So, it never limit yourself to just, okay, I bought a token, I'm going to wait for it to go up. What can you use these tokens for? This is going to help you research these projects better, and they're going to help you, not only be a better investor, but a better admin or a better developer, or you could improve your team's production with a lot of these different tools. So, this is what I love about this sector. There's just everyone kind of falls into crypto, but like once you actually get into it, like it's just, you start, running into these different tools and your brain just starts turning, so besides that, did you guys happen to catch the Fed meeting today or?
No.
Okay. Well, while you guys were building, I was doing some analytics, and I'm pretty excited about the market. I feel like we're no doubt within a bull cycle, and we are in the beginning of it. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people think it's just straight up and down within a month, but like a bull cycle can happen over a course of a couple years or so. And I feel more so that we're here because I was watching Jerome Powell. He's the Fed chairman. He typically dictates what the rates are going to be and stuff like that. And one thing I did notice is, when you had the Fed chair going up there, he's trying to sell U.S. debt. And the only way he could sell U.S. debt is by offering a particular interest rate. And the interest rate, he did raise it by 0.25 BPS. However, it's still not enough to supersede inflation rate. So because of this, he's not going to get people to buy US dollar debt, which is the reason why I see the dollar declining. In fact, today it went down over a point and it broke the 101.60 support line, which is raising asset prices. So this all translates into more inflation, which is going to raise asset prices. So you guys are building at the correct time, because everything you build, especially given that we're utilizing cryptocurrency as a medium of exchange for products and services, the money you create within the sector is also going to grow in value as we go forward within this cycle, you know. So I'm pretty excited about the bull cycle, not only from an economical standpoint, but also from a builder standpoint. Everything is starting to go into high gear. And I think the more you pay attention to builders, the more you're going to realize how much is actually going on.
Yo, shout out to some of those comments over there.
Yeah, let's so let's go through your comments real quick. You guys could go ahead and blast your favorite picks and I'll go over them.
Yo, ask any questions, do anything. Get
if you guys have any
calls.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, like we got some right here, like some, let's see. Yo.
All right, so John D says, he has a little arm fave. He says, hey, brother. AD says, hey, boys, let's go. Force Society, shout out to Force Society. I'm happy you're here watching this. When you get the chance, bro, you know, we should definitely do a stream. He's another content creator. So Force Society, this is an invite to you. We should do a panel just like this one of these days. Force Society says, Vinny is that guy. Absolutely. Nunny says, great work, team. Be Like Water says, let's go. Ace Killjoy just saying, what's up? ALBT just got hacked. Yes, I did see that it got hacked. I do believe in that team and that company. They have a good reputation. I don't think they're going to leave this into pieces. However, it does suck that this thing got hacked. And because it got hacked, a migration is going to happen. So, you know, I feel bad for a lot of people that got stuck in it. But when that new token comes out and maybe they do a swap or whatever the case may be, things will get better for ALBT. That's Alliance Block. So Alliance Block got hacked. So we'll see what happens with them. I think it'll eventually blow over the next year or so. But let's keep rolling. Johan says, is ABT still good to invest in or not? You know, I like investing in it and I like building in it. So I don't know about you. You do what you do. Besides that, Gomes says ABT's tech speaks for itself. Johan says, oh, thank God, I'm all fucking in on ABT Arc Block. Absolutely, I like Arc Block. Ace Killjoy says, don't flinch. Gomes says, ALBT still legit. Absolutely. I call him Mad Mao because you got to be crazy to create something like this, says AD. Kurt DeBull says, damn right, Jerome Bowles shit his pants today. He better put on his burqa. That's correct, Kurt DeBull. That is correct. And guys, if you have any questions, pop them into this before we let you guys go. Make sure you pop any questions you might have into the chat. AD says, is it worth it for a noob like me to learn to code now that the AI blocklet could write code for me?
No, don't depend on that. No.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. You can.
No, man, stop. No, everybody, just because Chat GPT came out, everybody thinks they're a developer. No.
Yeah.
It's easier than going. I mean, yes, I encourage you to still read documentation to Google. You know, compare the code. I mean, it's fragments of breakups. Sometimes it writes perfect stuff. Sometimes it doesn't. You know, but in a sense, you have to do your own logic. I mean,
yeah. Well, keep in mind, you know, I do think no matter what, guys, even though ArcBlock does have the ability for you to develop no code or low code, you could make it more advanced. You can make it complex as you need it to be, but you can also make it as simple as you need it to be. So no, you don't need coding experience. And yes, you can build. Yes, you can develop. But does that mean that you should stop learning? No. Absolutely not. You should continue learning.
No, because okay, yes, these are all great. ArcBlock Tech, you can go right and create a Web3 and the Force Society in here. Shout out, like he does videos. We even share those videos on our DID comments too. And actually, I think I created a channel on our Discord where his YouTube is under there too, so you can find it. But he's one of those users who builds like using ArcBlock, right? Like to the web, and 100%. Like, okay, like there's going to be so many free blocklets and paid blocklets eventually that you're going to be able to use to integrate to your site. There's going to be the AI. There's going to be this new one that we just talked about tonight with Robert. And there's the building is happening.
Yeah, they make it easier, you know, but
you need to understand. My key behind that is you need to understand what's going on. Yeah, you want to go over here and build that, but understand what you're building, what you're doing. You may not want to have to learn the code if you want to use it the way the Force Society shows you. That's completely fine because there's beautiful tech that now allows you to do that with your ArcBlock, right? But if you want to develop, it's open source code. And we share that on our DID channel. All the links are there. And build your own blocklets. You know, all the documentation is there. So, you know, you can build or it does either way. I mean, but ultimately, just understand what you're doing.
Yeah, what I was saying, Justin, was, you know, even though ArcBlock makes it easy to build, I don't think that should prevent you from learning more. You should always continue to educate yourself on how to develop and how to build. Like, let's say, for instance, you know, like right now I use Blocklet for particular cases. I'm trying to help one of our people build something and stuff like that. But keep in mind, you know, I developed OddApp, you know, with a team. They built it, you know. However, I still want to learn those things. I want to learn how to code. You know, look, you guys are talking to someone that I have an app. I made sure to build an app. I had a team do it for me. I worked with Blocklet. I've built Blocklet, no code, low code, all those things. However, when you're doing all those things, it inspires you to want to continue your education, and it inspires you to be like Justin. It inspires you to be like Vinny and Christian, developing and coding for real. You know, it's all a process, guys. You know, we're not telling you to get up out of your seat today and start doing whatever, but I do think that the more you build or the more you get, you know, exposure to this stuff, you're going to be inspired to want to start building and coding.
Right there, AD down at the bottom. He said, so what language is best to start off? Okay. Honestly, I started off with Solidity, as Vinny said from the beginning, and Vincent, how I started. I started with mining, as Dion said in the beginning of the interview, and how I moved to validating, understanding a little bit about Linux. But honestly, you can't mix languages. You don't want to be trying to learn French and then Spanish at the same time. You got to start with one. And I started with Solidity. And I'm glad I did, because it ultimately allowed me to understand how to create my own tokens, how to create my own NFTs and custom. And I can make like 40 to 50 grand on a project that would take me about a month to create 12,000 NFTs, custom metadata, deploy, and then give it to the owner. You know, like that's the path I chose. And I'm like, cool. Now I understand the language that powers mainly all this. I mean, if you're going to code on Tron, you're using Solidity. So, don't ask me about Rust, because I never looked into it. I don't use Rust. I use nothing but Solidity. And I would start there, because then you understand by using Solidity, ultimately, how the blockchain works, how cryptography works. I mean, everything down to the T. And then you're like, cool. Then you move on to its next best friend. Solidity is two languages, Solidity itself and JavaScript. They go hand in hand. So, and then you add React, just like Byte Storage, React, JavaScript, and Solidity. And I think we have some React query and some Nest.js on our back end, but mainly the front end, if Vincent can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure, unless, you know, React, JavaScript, CSS, Solidity, right, Vincent?
Yeah, that's on point.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's how you understand how that. So like if you go to Byte Storage and when you're minting there and everything, people have all these plugins they're using. No. All of our code is custom in the back end from our whole team. We have our own utilities that give you the wallet connected if you're mobile, have the same experience on mobile without an app, use Adapt in the metaverse, on the Blocklet, all in this amazing feature of seamless technology. So that's the key, is almost like just being a smooth flow. And we have that by using the code that we do. Vincent ran a scan on our website and it was like 99.9% almost across everything. You know, that's how quick we're running. And that's it. You got to start off with Solidity and then you work your way to JavaScript, because when you start understanding what certain global variables or aspects mean in Solidity, you'll start understanding when you go to JavaScript, you're like, oh, they're just creating this array. Oh, that's over here. It's like mapping in Solidity. You start understanding the concepts and then you move to React. So I would definitely recommend Solidity all the way.
Nice. Now keep in mind too, guys, with ArcBlock, you could use any language you want, Rust, Go, Solidity, React, whatever you're comfortable with, you could do with Blocklet. And that's what's nice about ArcBlock. It gives you the ability to write in any language that you want or feel comfortable with. But from a developer standpoint, out of all of those different coding languages, you guys just heard it from a real developer right there that, if you're going to start anywhere, that's a nice place to start. So
if you're starting in the crypto, if you got to understand something about code, there's different avenues you can take. Just so everybody hears it here. You want to coding gaming? I think it's C#. I think you want to do machine learning and AI. It's Python. You want to do blockchain? It's Python. You want to do crypto? It's Solidity. So you got to understand which pathway you want to take, and ultimately, if you're in the crypto realm and that's the way you want to build, you want to build DApps and you want to build swaps and you want to get crazy, start with Solidity. Just depends on the route you want to go.
Badass. Well, guys, I appreciate your time. Let's do this again. I want another update from you guys for everything that's coming next. I want, we got to have this regular for sure. And, I appreciate all of you guys just taking the time to speak with us. Shout out to MYC community. Shout out to everyone supporting OddApp. And shout out to everybody from Byte Storage that's watching here as well. And, don't forget, guys, I'm on Twitter as well, MYC OddApp. And Justin is on there as well as Byte Storage, BYTE _storage. And, let's continue building and let's keep rocking. I see the markets. I'm looking at them right now. They're going through the roof. ABT just almost broke 16 cents. These prices aren't going to last forever, I don't think. Especially with a lot of these. I mean, if you take a look at Bitcoin right now, it's really testing 24K already. And based on the projection of inflation from the Fed, and I keep telling people this, look, if you want to be bullish on the market, being bullish on the market is the same thing as being bearish on the dollar. If the Fed is telling you that they're projecting inflation, what rises with inflation? Assets. What are we in right now? A debt bubble. What is happening during recessions? Bankruptcies, defaults, repossessions. All of these are defaults on US dollar debt, which is hammering on the dollar. And what you guys are watching is very reminiscent to what happened after 2008. If you take a look at 2008 to 2009, the dollar had already fallen a very great amount. I think it was around the 75 to 80 cent range. But again, we are in those very moments where we're watching the US dollar come down in value, where assets will rise. And you're watching it happen live on the charts right now. So, I know the sentiment is bearish out there. But if you take a look at this from an economical standpoint, we're going towards inflation. And the only way governments pay off debt is to inflate debt away. And in order to inflate debt away, they have to either expand the monetary system or let the dollar crash or their currency crash. Okay. And in this case, let's say if the dollar doesn't crash out of nowhere, like in 2009 or 2008, let's say that doesn't happen in an instant. Okay, well, if you take a look at the other end of this, Jerome Powell himself today said within 6 months, the U.S. should expand the balance sheet. They said they should raise the debt ceiling. Well, what is that? Raising the debt ceiling is expanding the monetary system. It's expanding the balance sheet, not tightening the balance sheet. So again, governments, when they're looking to pay off massive amounts of the debt deficit, what they do, and the only thing they could do, is inflate debt away, which in turn rises asset prices. So guys, I hope you like this show. I'll catch you guys on the next one. I will see you guys on OddApp. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you're not an OddApp subscriber yet, I will make sure I leave the link below. And find us on Twitter, MYC_odd_app. And I'll make sure that, I'm always retweeting Byte Storage's stuff. So, if you could find me, or you could find them very fast. Okay, guys? I will.
Hang on. For your next interview, what I'll do is I'll get our other partner in here, Source Protocol, so people can SRCX.
I would love
SRCX.
to. No, I would love to. Let's get him. Let's definitely get Source Protocol and you on here so we can talk about Cosmos, talk about validators, and talk about, because he has a coin. He actually has a coin. So I think that would be a very good discussion to have. because I looked at the tokenomics on that and it does look pretty nice. So we'll see. We'll have that conversation. Let's get it scheduled, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Later.